Game 4 of the team semifinal series in Phoenix. In addition, Reeve and assistant coaches Eric Thibault, I might be killing his name, and Rebecca Bronson have each been fined. Thibault was fined for his inappropriate interaction with an official on the court. Bronson was fined for an inappropriate social media comment directed at WNBA officials. Um, guys, I know we watched the things unfold. Like we've been talking about the officiating all season, but I'm gonna go to my panel. I want to know what was your first thought when you heard Cheryl Reeve was suspended, and do you think she deserved this punishment? Who wants to go first?
I'll
KSAP,
go.
you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go and start it out. I was
Mhm.
kind of. It surprised me because of the comments that I made last night. I didn't think that she was going to get reprimanded for it because it's Cheryl Reeves. Because it's a lot of things that I pointed out that went into what happened last night. Because I
Mhm.
took it all the way back to the situation with Tyler Marsh when he jumped off the bench. And as soon as he jumped off the bench and got to the official, he got teed up and they told him to hit the showers. Now with Cheryl Reeves, it took a long time for this to play out before the ref said, I got to give her a tech now because I think she's trying to show us up. Because Cheryl Reeves got off the bench, stormed around, no tech. They held her back. They didn't give her a tech. She walked all the way to half court. And then that's when the ref realized I have to tech her up. So this situation, when I stated last night, I said it's almost like a double standard because I was telling you guys last night on the Players Club when I came up and we talked about it. I said, in this situation, Cheryl Reeves, right? What she did is similar to what they say Angel Reese did. This is conduct detrimental to, at that point,
Mhm.
Reese's team. But what Cheryl Reeves did was conduct detrimental to the WNBA as a whole and the league officiating. For everything that she said and all the words that she uttered, it was crazy. So this is what I'm saying. In a situation like this, I think the punishment fits the crime. Me personally, I would have took it as far as 2-game suspension. I mean, I don't think Cheryl Reeves is bigger than the next person, but she is trying to set a precedence because we all talked about the officiating all year long. Why do y'all think that's going to change going into the playoffs? They've been consistent all year long with bad calls, and it's carried over into the playoffs. And Cheryl Reeves did not appreciate anything that was going on, and she voiced her displeasure. She got off the bench. She acted a ass, and then she escorted off, got into it with a fan, and then when she got to the post game press conference, that's when she really went crazy with all the F bombs and all that stuff. So I think the league got it right, but I'd have took it as far as a 2-game suspension. And I'll digress.
Mm. Well, hey, look, I, I, I have to tend to agree with you only because, like you say, if anybody else would have done it, if it'd have been something if they even had their job today. But I go, Tony. What do you think about Cheryl Reeve's suspension?
I second that what KSAP said, right? It's about behavior. And if you're going to be the coach and you're going to lead someone, you have to lead and guide them in the right direction, even when things don't go your way. And so just the blank behavior based on a call, which technically really wasn't a call. So
For this.
Give it to him,
Yeah,
man.
y'all know I'm gonna always come from, more often than not, I'm gonna come from the other side of the coin. And I'll start by saying this. I agree to an extent with both KSAP and Tony. The other side of the coin for me, however, is that I have a really big problem with feeling like I'm witnessing the voices of women be policed all the time, right? If we think about, and I was just sharing this with all of the co hosts before we came on, I'm pretty sure in the history of the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, pick whatever sport you want, especially if it involves a team, where we have seen male head coaches get beside themselves in response to what they feel is egregious acts, right? And so I think it's important not to, a few things. I'm trying to keep it so I'm not all over the place. The first thing is that, yes, I agree. If this was a coach of color, especially a Black female coach, um, they probably would be without a job, right? So the suspension is the suspension. It can't change. I think a suspension is not warranted in this situation, maybe a hefty fine. But here's why I don't feel like the suspension is warranted right now, because of where we're at in the season, the postseason now. We're in the playoffs and there is a lot on the line. So you don't take the head coach out, especially when there is a high probability that the star player is going to be out too, because you don't want to do anything to shift the narrative around whatever the outcome is going to be. So for instance, if the Mercury are going to win this, if the Mercury win the next game, they won't even be able to hold on to the celebratory pomp and circumstance that comes with that, because it's going to be overshadowed by, well, if Cheryl was coaching, well, if Fee was playing, there's always, so that takes away even from what the Mercury's experience could be if they win. Now, going back to policing women's voices, we saw it with Angel. And this was something, this was comments that we've talked about repeatedly across this network of channels and media, is that what she said wasn't wrong. The timing in which it was released is where I had the challenge with it. But what she said wasn't wrong, but that didn't stop that entire organization from trying to make her the villain or the fall woman for the backlash and the fallout that happened with Cheryl. I think what we saw, it's easy to sit in a seat and say what you wouldn't do. And I hear you, Tony, about being professional and being the head coach, and that requires a higher level of excellence and accountability and leadership, right? I get that. But in those moments, it's easy for us to look and say what we should, what we would and wouldn't do, or what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate. And I think if we look at that, because I went back and looked at a different angle in slow motion of the collision, if you will, or it wasn't even a collision, because I don't really think that Alyssa Thomas touched Fee, but you see her ankle, it literally looked like it snapped in half. So can you imagine, as a head coach, the emotions that you're already feeling, the emotions, because it's a lot at stake. You're already upset and pissed. We said it. They've been talking about all season that the officiating has been egregious. So to those who say, well, why would you expect for anything to change at this point? I say to that, you should have the expectation that if no other time during the season, during the playoffs, we get better officiating. And she called out that she felt like those three officials were not playoff worthy caliber officials. So they know something we don't know, right? You don't just say that out of anger. There's a lot that we don't see on the screen. So I feel like it was just like the perfect storm of a lot of different things happening. But I think Cheryl's emotions were really high already. And then you add in seeing what happened to Fee, to no fault of anyone else's. It just was a freak accident. That will send you over the edge. And so I feel like her getting suspended, if she would have went to that press conference very level-headed and didn't cuss nobody out, she wouldn't be suspended. They would have just gave her a hefty fine. But because she called out Kathy and them, let's be clear who she was calling out. She wasn't just calling out the poor officiating. She was calling out leadership and change for the leadership when she talked about the officiating, but she went a step further in saying that if this is what the league, it looks like this is what the league wants to become. And if we are here, and I'm paraphrasing, okay, she doesn't understand it. So now you're taking a direct shot at the leadership in the W. not just the officiating. And so for those reasons, I feel like more because of that, those comments, than anything else that she did on the court, taking her time getting off the court, cussing out the fans, even though a fan put their hands on her. And they actually, one of the Mercury's, I forget the arena that they play at, but they had staff there, and you could see one of the women telling one of the other workers there at the arena to get them out, to get the whoever the fans were that were saying and doing stuff. So we see a clip, a 10-second clip, if you will, and we make an assumption or an assessment on what is appropriate and what's not. And I think there's a bigger picture that we have to look at. And I just think it was a perfect storm. Could she have handled it better in a level-headed situation? Yeah. But we're not talking about being level-headed. It was a lot that was happening, and it's a lot at stake. And so we got what we got. And I just feel like if she wouldn't have called out Kathy, she wouldn't have got suspended.
Hey, let's take L. Let me take it a step back though, from what you said about the on court stuff. I had no problem with the on court stuff at all, because I mean she was in that situation. Her star player gets hurt, and she was animated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was triggered. I have no problem with that. Whatever she did on the court, going up there, because we see it all the time with officials. We, like you said, we see it across the board. NFL, we even see it in Major League Baseball. You know, with the coaches, with the umpires, we see it all across the board. I had no problem with that. My issue, why I said that warranted the suspension, is you just can't go calling out the whole league and the refs. That's the issue. That's why I said the crime and the penalty fit. All the on-court stuff, I had no problem with that. I don't care what she did on court. If, like you said, if she would have went to the post-game press conference level-headed and just spoke all the F-bombs and all that stuff, the way she was calling them out, that's the problem that I had. But everything else she did on the court, so be it. I don't care. I see it all the time in sports.
Yeah.
But it was the stuff that she did at the post-game press conference that got that suspension. That's why I said I would have gave her a 2-game suspension. That's just me. Because
But would you have given her a 2-game suspension because you didn't agree with what she was saying, or are you suggesting the 2-game suspension because you're thinking from the position of the W's leadership?
Now, you just can't do that. You just can't say things like that. You just can't do that. It goes back.
I feel like that's problematic, though, because then we start talking about workers, if you will, shouldn't have a voice in the organization that they're working for. So if the working conditions are not good, then we shouldn't be speaking up, because we can be punished or experience hostile acts because we spoke up about something that we don't like within the company that we work for.
I agree with that, but that happens in all sports. You go back to Chris Paul when he made reference about the officiating, the woman official, he got suspended. You go back to Tim Duncan back in his days with him and the referee that he didn't get along with, and Tim Duncan thought that Tim Donnelly was giving him bogus calls. He got suspended. You can't say that about the officials. Them officials, they got families to feed too, and you just calling them out. They protect these. They protect, like they protect these workers, and there's certain things that you just can't say. That's why I said I think that the suspension was warranted, because you can't just sweep it under the rug because it's Cheryl Reeves and she can say anything she wants to say about these officials and the head of the league, the commission, and all that stuff. So in this situation, when you taking shots at the officials, they're gonna look at it. You gonna get suspended.
I agree. I'm not suggesting for anybody that think. Look, number one, I don't have a dog in the fight. Like I don't care. The Lynx is not my team. But I'm trying to add another layer to the conversation and look at it from a different perspective, especially when you're looking corporately, right? Like, you can't go in any company meeting, any press conference, and just dog your employer out. But I think that there is a very thin line between having not doing that, but also having the freedom to voice your concerns. Now, the way that she did it, hey, I don't agree. But again, I get it. I don't agree,
Yeah.
but
Thank
I
you,
get
Dre.
it.
You,
He
I mean,
said
I
Joey
get it.
Crawford
just
was the
said it.
ref. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I get it
absolutely just
too.
said it. It's
Go ahead.
not the fact that she said it. It's the moment, right? And the
Mhm.
passion that she put behind it. And it's just those things you just cannot do. I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
you want to be there, then you have to make sure that you're keeping a steady. You have the right to react. You have the right to pass judgment
You knew.
based on what they're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to have some sensibility about it at the same time.
Man,
Hold on one sec.
who's this Serge Powell dude?
I don't know. He's somebody new. Hold on, guys. Let's listen to Cheryl Reeve. Let's hear what she actually said, because they're always telling these kids, and that's the only thing I would say: be professional, be professional, be professional. And Cheryl said, "Damn that." Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
When you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants for some reason. We were trying to play through it. We tried not to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0. And she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. Got her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out, and probably has a fracture. And so if this is what our league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinals playoff worthy, is malpractice.
Mm.
I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players, Masha's on the glass and gets cracked, and there's no call. And all of them said, it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't have that. I didn't see it that way. They're awful.
She
The
was
only thing I would
she was
look.
emotional, man.
The only thing I
Yeah,
would say, I
extremely.
harken back to what I be saying on the Players Club. My only problem with it is this: the officials have been bad all season long.
Yep.
You lose a little credibility when you didn't have this kind of visceral reaction when they've been doing this to all these teams with the poor officiating calls. That's where you lose a little credibility. You knew coming into the game the officials was bad. So you calling it out when you're not getting the result you want looks bad at a certain extent. Then number 2, you call out specifically these officials in that press conference as if they shouldn't be officiating at all. Now I don't know how good of a officials they are, but the league wasn't gonna be able to just let that slide, because in any sport they gotta protect the refs, because the refs take a lot of crap, y'all. Because this team is saying it's a foul, this team is saying, we have players go up and down the court thinking they have not committed not one foul. Every time they get fouled, they say they didn't commit a foul. But they knew this going into this game. And I've always said you got to play through it. You can't cry for something you knew going into the game that was going to happen, because there were we called it. There were calls missed on either side. So if she had won the game, would she have crashed out? Probably not. Would she have called out this crew? Would she have called out leadership?
Nope.
Probably not. That's my problem with it. I'll let y'all get
If
in.
she wins but Fee is hurt, then I still see her calling them out.
But I want people to understand. Cheryl Reeve said nothing wrong, right? She said what everybody has been saying all year long about these officials. She said it. But the problem is, guys, she was not supposed to say it. She was right about everything she said. But at this particular moment, you can't go on a post-game press conference and say that, because it's going to be some repercussions to that. And that's
But
what
that
happened.
goes back to my point, my earlier point, KSAP, in that we can agree to disagree or even agree until the last sentence, right? And then that's where we have a difference of opinion. I feel like this is what policing voices looks like. Hell, I experience it on this platform with people. There are some men who just don't have a value or respect or appreciate a woman being outspoken. And I could say the same. Perfect example. Angel said what she said in her interview with the Chicago Tribune. Postseason, Jeff came out and said the same thing. Ain't nobody up in arms about what Jeff said. Angel said something toward the end of the season. I think they had 1 or 2 games left. Tyler said something very similar. Nobody was in an uproar about it. And I think we have to be honest about our biases when it comes to gender, when it comes to race. I don't feel like Cheryl said anything wrong. And I can also say that I don't agree with the way that she handled it, but I understand why she did. And if the outcome were that they won, you can still call. Becky has done it where they win, the Aces win, but she still calls out the problematic things that are happening, because all it takes is one thing to happen that could be a career-ending injury for your player. And as a player, I want to know that my coach is going to go hard for me. I want to know that my coach is going to go in the paint and go to bat for me and say for me what I can't say for myself, because I might lose my job or I might get suspended or teed up or whatever. People was clowning Tyler all season long because it took him so long to finally get some vigor and fire and start taking up for his players, especially Angel.
That was too late. But go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. The expectation was that he needed to do that. But on the flip side of the coin, we have a female coach that's doing it regardless of how she does it or when she does it, and it's an issue. But I'm gonna fall back because Bill Clyde hasn't given his insight yet.
If Tyler would have said what she said, he'd have got suspended too.
Everybody in that situation, but I'm gonna let Bro Claw get in here real quick.
Go ahead, Bro Claw.
No, I'm gonna let him get in here real quick, but I just want to say this. It goes back to the point of what triggered Cheryl Reeves to act the way she acted. If you go back and look at it, AT did nothing wrong. It wasn't like that was intentional what she did. You got this is the playoffs, the heat of the moment. You going for the ball and you out there playing hard. I don't think she went into the purpose like, well, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna hurt Nafisha Kyer.
No, she didn't.
This was a freak situation that Nafisha Kyer, sustained an injury and she's out. But I just think if that wouldn't have happened, Cheryl Reeves wouldn't have been agitated the way she was, to be animated the way she was, and her emotions got the best of her, and it carried over to the post-game press conference. And I guarantee you that she's probably sitting there regretting that she said it, but she said nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro. You on mute?
I hear you, bro.
I listened to everybody and what they had to say. I first want to say that Alyssa Thomas did nothing wrong. She had a clean rip at the ball. Let everybody be clear. She took the ball from Fee. It was in motion and it was a incidental contact that happened. She did not try to hurt Nafisha Collier. It was an awkward move that happened with feet. Of course, Alyssa Thomas is built like a tank. Everyone knows that in the whole W. So, awkward twist, fall, hurt, game over. You lost on your possession, period. Cheryl Reeves, I had no problem with her going the hell off because I already know that she does who she does. You know what I mean? I'm a crash out king, so I love the crash outs. And when, especially when a coach is defending their player who has been mistreated periods of time throughout the season, and then in particularly this season, we've seen it with Angel. We've seen it, with Camilla. Us looking closely. We've seen it with certain ones that's in the WNBA or the games that we do cover. We've seen it with Brianna Jones. We've seen the disparities that the refs do not call for these women that's underneath the basket. And it's atrocious. I think it's very, very foul. I don't think it's professional. That is not professional refereeing if you call it one way and then a period of time in the game, you call it another way. If you're going to call it the way the whole game, everybody's cool with it. Okay, this is a physical game so that everyone can check the atmosphere or, for sake, lack of words, the waters that we are in. But when it's a systematical inconsistency that's happening here in the WNBA. It's a systematical inconsistency all the way from the head. You got the head of officiating with the WNBA, and this guy's in charge, Monty McCutcheon. He's from the NBA. He's a vice president in the NBA operations, but he also is over the WNBA helping Sue Block, who serves as the head of referee performances and development. That's a good name. That sounds very professional. But the outcome of what the hell that name sounds like is not what we see. Because if we want good officiating, it's not in the WNBA. If we want good officiating, once again, it is not in the WNBA playoffs, which it should be supreme officials that are hired to look over these girls and make sure that each and every one of them are safe. So shame on Kathy Engelberg, Sue Block, and Mr. McCutcheon. But what I will say is that I have no problem with what Cheryl Reeves done on the court. Nope, don't got no damn problem with that. She should have done it. But what she did was she took a stand in the presser where she, over the years that she has been coaching, saying the professionalism should be there at the highest standard. She has been a winner in this league for a long time. So this ain't the first time that she has had bad refereeing on a playoff game, because she's been in many of them. Okay? Let's not get it twisted. We beamed in on 2025. But this is a lady that's been there and done that all before. So she knows how to turn the switch off when it comes to the presser. She decided not to. And her deciding not to took the professionalism out of it, which gave them food to eat. I believe that Cheryl Reeve had a right to say everything she said on the podium. But it's consequences and repercussions for everything. I believe that she should have took a stand against, y'all already know I'm the fight the power man. I'm a little bit against the grain. K-Sap, hold on, bro, Cloud. Don't be coming up here. Wait a minute now. So I'm that man. So I have no problem with everything that Cheryl Reeve did all the way to the presser. I don't care about anything. My player has gotten hurt. She's probably out for the rest of the season, of the postseason. Y'all got me twisted because she didn't have not one free throw. I get it. She was right. But when it comes to blowing the whole thing up, hell, if we gonna hold Angel to a certain standard, goddammit, we gonna hold somebody else to it too. And if Angel gets disciplined for this type of thing, I want them to be disciplined too. So no, I did not want her to get away with it, because baby girl or none of the sisters that was there or players, none of them would be able to get with it. So let's hold everybody accountable to what it is, just like we are doing lawfully in this network. Hold me accountable. Okay, I messed up. Cool. Bro, Cloud, you shouldn't have cussed right there. Well, shit, I ain't mean to. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a real person. But I know that Elle is very articulate, and she's a very, very good sister. And she's a great person in these networks who holds me to a, man, listen, she will call me on the side and tell me about myself or whatever it is. And I have to take it because I know that she's right. She can talk to me and tell me that. I have that type of relationship that I can take that out. And plus, I'm a girl's dad. So I get beat up all day. Keysha beat my butt. Tony slapping me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't get away with nothing pretty much. K-Sap, while you've been gone, you know, I'm the only male in the room. So to say what I'm saying is that I don't agree with Cheryl Reeve's getting suspended again. I believe that she should get fined, not in the playoffs. And if she did get suspended, if they wanted to hold a suspension, it should be in the regular season that's coming up. She should do a penalty of maybe 2 or 3 games in the rego. You got it? But this is not where you're supposed to be suspending anybody or any coach doing a postseason, no matter what they done. I don't agree with it when it's done with the men, and I sure in the hell don't agree with it with this type of situation that was really, really volatile for Cheryl Reeves to win a key game. Her player goes down, she gets beat up. Most of her players have not gotten the calls that are supposed to be done, which we know that that's going to happen. But she's frustrated in the moment. So hell yeah, I want to slap the hell out of you. I want to beat you up. I want to beat your mama up. I want to beat your cousins up and everybody else associated with you and all the people that's cheering for you. I want to beat them up too. So she had a moment. I don't think that it should have been made a suspension type of thing in the playoffs. I do think that she should have paid the penalty for the next year round. Somebody got to fix it, because now they not only down Fee, they down Cheryl Reeves. So now it's a situation like Elle said. It's not a cumulative win for the Suns, a celebratory type of thing for they conquered Nafisha Collier. They broke her ankle, but they didn't conquer. Cheryl Reeves got destroyed, but they did
I,
not.
di-
They did
I
not
disagree.
totally. No, listen. They did not totally conquer the team. I'm not talking about from my standpoint. I'm talking about the people. I'm with you, Keysha. I'm rolling with Rush.
Yeah, they got whooped, but you know,
I'm rolling with.
there's that.
If they lose, they lost without fee. If they lose, they
Oh, I
lost.
was talking about this game. No, I was just saying. I
Oh
was
no,
just
this
saying
game
that
they
this
got.
game. Yeah,
Oh no, they
yeah, I
got
was
built.
talking about this game.
No, they got better heads. So, but I'm talking about the next game.
Uh-huh.
The next game, Fee won't be there. Cheryl Reeves won't be
It's
there.
gonna be a cloud over that
Yeah,
game. It's a cloud.
and
It's a
and
cloud.
she said it for me. That's where I was going. So the thing is that okay, me as a Lynx fan, I don't appreciate my coach being suspended. I don't appreciate that.
I got one question for you, bro, because you've been around longer than me.
Yeah, coach. Right.
So, Cheryl Reeve's been coaching a long time, as you eloquently put
Old
it, right?
guard. Mm-hmm.
Right? So, she knew she was going to get it, right?
She
She
knew.
knew when she went to that podium, it was a potential that
Yeah,
she was going to be suspended, and she was okay with that.
absolutely.
Okay. So, I don't have as much sympathy
No, I don't
as
have
you.
sympathy. No,
Now,
I don't
maybe
have
if we'd
sympathy.
have had a young coach, maybe you can get me with that. But Cheryl Reeve absolutely knew that she could potentially put herself out in game 4
Yeah.
because she wanted to get her emotions across. Right?
Yeah, but we have seen Keysha
Or did
suspensions be held up in the beginning of the following year too.
Right.
This
And
ain't like it
Keysha,
ain't been done before. It
exactly.
has
And
been
Keysha,
done.
to add to that,
so you thought Cheryl Reeve thought that she was gonna get away with it essentially.
no.
No, I
That's
didn't think
my
she.
question.
No, 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 no. She didn't give a damn.
Okay.
She
So
didn't give a
in that as a coach, when you don't give a damn,
damn.
you're not
It's
worried about
consequences.
game.
It's
Right. You're
consequences.
not worried about game 4. You're not worried about because you yourself said in that press conference,
She
you
in it.
knew Fee was out. And you knew your comments could be detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
So you made a conscious choice to do that, right?
Yeah,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
agree.
Keysha, okay, so Keysha, we're both mothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We mama bears. Tony, we
Yeah.
mama bears, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We know that there have been things that have happened to our children, whether when they were
Mhm.
little, middle school, high school, adulthood, and as mothers, we know that we are to carry ourselves a certain way,
Mm.
to lead by example, right? We know
Mm-hmm.
all of that. But let something happen to your baby. You crashing out. You know right from wrong, but in that moment, and that's what I'm trying to get people to see is in that moment, the emotions are already high. And can you imagine seeing no, Fee is not her daughter, but I would imagine they have like their relationship is probably very close to a maternal, relationship, a mother and a daughter relationship. She is going to go hard. Yeah, she probably got there and was like, I'm already in trouble, so I'm gonna unload the clip. Do with it what you will. But if I don't stand for something that is, I just I don't know. Maybe it's because of something, some things that I have just dealt with recently with an organization, right? And how they have tried to silence Black women, including myself, three Black women and a Hispanic woman, and they released us all, and it is all white folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I take issue with not having the space to call out a thing
Mm-hmm. I get you.
and be
It's definitely a
punished
thing.
for calling out a thing, right? Regardless of my approach, I just feel like Cheryl got there and she probably was like, ain't again, she's probably emotions still running high because let's be clear, this ejection didn't happen in the first quarter. It was literally at the end of the fourth quarter. So the post game presser ain't that much time hadn't passed between her getting ejected and her sitting down for that post game presser. So I would imagine that her emotions were still very high. And she said what she said.
But I get where you're coming from because I am a mama bear too. But I also got to think about my other 11 babies that's on the team.
But Keysha, that was my point in bringing that up. Sometimes, perfect example, my oldest daughter was probably 5th or 6th grade. And I was at home. I had a client that I was working with. We had a meeting and I was helping her with some marketing for her wedding. My daughter comes in and all the kids in the neighborhood standing at my front door, and my daughter's nose is bleeding and her lip is bleeding. And I'm like, hold on, what's going on? Some little boy done busted her in the mouth as she was getting off the school bus. My client looked at me and said, handle your business. I walked outside in slippers and I went looking for that little boy. I'm a full grown woman, but I didn't care. I went looking for that little boy. And the kids in the neighborhood told me where he lived. And I knocked on the door and his mama answered the door. Now I got 2 little girls and I'm a single mom at that time. And his mom answered the door and I went to have a logical conversation with her about her son putting his hands on my daughter and causing injury. But what she gave me was an attitude. And before I knew it, and she answered the door with a little baby in her arm, and before I knew it, her and the baby were on the floor because I knocked her out. Now, reasonable motherhood would tell you, don't do that. If you go to jail, the lady called the police on you, you go to jail, your mama live out of state, their daddy not around, who gonna take care of your babies if you get locked up tonight? None of that I was thinking in that moment. So yes, you might say, I got 11 other kids to think about, or I have this to think about, or I got that to think about. But in the midst of emotions running high, you make a split second decision. You're not thinking about all of that in that moment. And so I have a problem with people trying to hold Cheryl accountable to doing something that they themselves probably wouldn't do in the heat of the moment. And even the comments about, well, you've been seeing this all season and you haven't said anything. Well, actually, she has been talking about it. But also, is she responsible as the head coach for the Minnesota Lynx? Is she responsible for calling out every egregious act that we see with officiating for every team? Or should every other mother/coach be doing that for their teams?
So you are okay with all of them crashing out?
Crash out.
So basically, you saying Cheryl should have got a free pass?
No, that's not.
That's, I mean, because you didn't want the suspension the suspension.
Nate Tibbetts had a reason to crash out. He wasn't getting calls either.
Yeah. Anytime that a star player gets fouled and the head coach crashes out, that makes it right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody, like Keysha said, I mean, Cheryl been around for a long time. She know the consequences. She's smart enough to know.
Right. And so, but why isn't the flip side of that Cheryl's been around for a long time?
We can't give her a pass for her being around for a long time.
Listen, you trying to give her a pass for being around for a long time.
I'm not giving her a pass for nothing.
And should know better. She should know that because she's been around for a long time, she should know better than to go and say these things in the post-game presser. But we're not saying, well, she's been around for a long time, and so she knows how this league has been working, and she's fed up.
But you just can't say reckless stuff like that.
2 things can be true at the same time. And I'm always going to be for, if we can, as United States citizens, can call for the impeachment of a less than qualified person in office who's holding the office of president, why can't people call out egregiousness in their workplace?
Well, we can call it out, right?
You can call it out.
We can call it out, and you can express yourself.
But
you have to understand.
I agree with Bro Claude. It should have been later on. You don't give a suspension in the playoffs.
Well,
you might as well just let all these coaches crash out and show these officials up.
If you did that, if we did that,
I'm not missing the point.
Y'all get what I'm saying?
No, I'm not missing the point. I understand what you're saying.
Look at
we get it, El. We get it. We get it. I'm gonna tell you, I get it. I get exactly what you're saying, right?
But I mean, that's just, I mean, I get everything that you're saying. But as a coach, you're not supposed to show up these officials. You just can't do it. There's consequences behind when you show up these officials,
regardless their emotion.
Read
Again, I don't have
screen.
nothing to say. I agree with what
screen.
Cheryl had to say. I see it. I think Cheryl on the cake when Fee went down. The refs don't stop the game.
They didn't
and
stop
I
the
can't
game.
see the rest. So, well, at this point, right? Once this happens, and I'm going to tell you, I watched the play. Let's go from the beginning of the play, from the beginning before she crashed out. She watched what was going on. It was her assistant coaches that made her aware, and then she crashed out. So there's sensibility in all of this, right? Mm-hmm. She has a moment to be upset with what happened to a player. She has the right to go in the presser and say exactly what she said, hands down. But there's a right and a wrong way to present it, even in your moment of passion, right? She's passionate. She's upset about our player. This is what she want to say. The refs didn't do a good job. F the refs. We get it. We get it.
Yeah.
But there's a moment that she still have to come back to reality. Even us as mothers, as you said, Elle, right? That moment, you're not thinking about it. You're ready to crash out and you're ready to do whatever. But as we get older, and she's an older coach, you have things that you have to learn that you are going to battle with and situationals that's going to happen, and you have to sustain. Even when you crashed out on that court, even with the small window you have to get to the presser, your other coaches who are with you need to calm your ass down before you get in there. There's a moment in time that we have to think about what this is going to cost us. Now my number one player is down. How do I get the rest of my team exactly to perform and get through this? I know that I am pissed. I know that I am so emotional about what just happened to one of my babies, because as a coach, we all know all of the kids are our babies. Every last one of them. Every player that we have, whether we like something they did or we didn't, they're our babies, and we're going to protect them all, and we should, as we should. But there's a moment, even for a second, you got to come back to reality, because you got to sit there and you know that what you say is going to cost you. And it's hard to think about that when you're emotional. I do get that. And she was very emotional. She's very pissed. And I get exactly what you're saying. I get what K-Stop's saying. I get what Keysha's saying. And I get what Bro Claude is saying. There's a moment that we got to think, do I go to prison?
Right. Do I go to prison?
Or do I think about
or do I
if I'm going to be here for my babies tomorrow? Right?
I agree with what everybody said, but let me address the comment that Jackie said. Jackie said, K-Sap, you are a parent. I'm sure you have went off on children. Man, please. That's the difference. I am a parent. I have went off on children. But you can't suspend me. You can't fine me for going off on the children, because that's not my profession.
Right.
This
She's
is
saying going off for your children, like on your children's behalf.
Yeah, but you can't fine me or suspend me. What you going to fine me for or suspend me for?
There's always consequences to all of our actions. So
no, I'm just saying. I'm talking about in the profession. We're talking about basketball. This is apples to oranges.
Yes,
every
it's basketball,
parent,
but still, if Cheryl didn't speak up for her players, we'd be up here dogging her
But listen, what I'm saying. Every parent has defended their child, right? But what is the consequences for you defending your child? Is somebody going to slap a $500 fine on you? Is somebody going to slap a $1,000 fine on you? Are they going to suspend you from being a parent? That's the difference. This is apples to oranges. I understand that everybody is in their emotions and their feelings right now, but when it comes to being a parent and you're protecting your child, this is what we do as parents. But we're talking about the game of basketball. There is repercussions and consequences in certain things that you can't do, and you can't show up these officials, and you're going to get fined or you're going to get suspended. That's just the bottom line.
But you got GMs that can do it. Yes, that's the bottom line.
Lucky, I guess you can call me what you want to call me. You can tell me I'm weird as hell, But
Oh,
look, you
yeah.
don't know me. You don't
Right.
know nothing about me. And what I'm trying to tell you, you can
Let's
call
not
me
do
what you
that,
want to call
y'all.
me. That don't move me. But we're talking about the game of basketball. And I said this before. Cheryl Reeves did nothing wrong, but she know there's repercussions and consequences to what she said of her actions. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, K-Sap. We didn't all coach children in youth leagues, right?
Exactly.
You have, I have, I'm
I
sure
And
have.
still
Tony
doing
has.
it.
Yeah.
I
You
have.
know, you can get upset at a ref at a game. But it's certain that no matter how much you want to crash out, you cannot crash out to the point that they call the police on you. Because I've seen coaches get escorted off the field.
I've seen
Yes.
people get
Keysha,
shot
Because
on
they
and stuff
I
ran
like
have
up
that.
been one
because
of
they
those
Yeah.
ran up
coaches.
on the ref, cussing them out,
You're right.
telling them they missed the call.
Yeah.
No,
I've
I'm
seen
with
I've
people
been
get
KCAP.
one
We
of
leave
those
seen
alive.
get
coaches
shot.
in AAU
Yeah.
basketball, and
Yeah.
I done
That
kindly got escorted out the place and them people
there's
out in Orange County because I done cussed the ref out. It just is what it is.
all we saying is there's consequences to
Yeah.
me crashing out. I've seen my kid get his knees taken out from him and not get a flag. I cannot crash out because there's 25 other boys on that sideline who, if I'm gone, what do they do?
But Keisha, I feel like you're talking from the place of an isolated incident. And I think what we saw with Cheryl was a buildup. And it's just like a pressure cooker. And even and that last thing, it was obviously seeing Fee go down. And it wasn't that she just went down. It was obvious that, oh man, she might be done. Right?
Mhm.
It's that,
Yeah.
and it's coupled on top of you already having issues with the officiating, and then you add another layer. She goes down, and they don't even stop the game.
Well,
They
you know
just
that.
continue to play while Fee is
Well,
on the court.
now
So
you know that. You know
I
that's
think this,
normal. You know they do that a lot.
but it's a problem, and no one
Yeah.
is addressing it. So I
You
think
know,
in that moment, Cheryl is just like, man, what? Come on, what else are we supposed to say if you have players who are speaking up about the officiating?
Mhm.
If you have other coaches who are speaking up about the officiating, the
True.
the only group of people that are not speaking up about the officiating are the GMs, the owners, and Kathy.
but guess what, El? I agree with you, but let me bring something else to you. I know you were thinking she was in the heat of the moment and she couldn't help herself. I think Cheryl Reeves already knows she's gonna lose this series, so she might as well tell these mofos what she thinks.
I don't think so. I think it's too close between them and Phoenix that it could go either way in game 3.
I,
But now,
I think she knows.
I don't know.
I think
I'm gonna
she
say
knew.
this, y'all.
I
I'm
think
gonna
she
say
knew Fee
this.
was down, and this was the end of that. And I'm about to go
Right.
and tell these mofos what I think.
I
Why does it
disagree.
kept? Phoenix should have won game 1 too. So
Hey, look,
if we
I
think about it,
disagree.
it probably should have been done.
I
Yeah, it was done.
disagree
She missed that layup.
because I still feel without Fee Collier there, Phoenix is a great team and doing whatever it is. But
Yeah,
I
they
still
needed their
feel
coach.
without Fee being there, the Minnesota Lynx, because they have done and they still will, if they find a way and click on all cylinders, can beat the Mercury. They have and they will without Fee. It's proven.
Guess what,
The
Bro
thing is
Claude?
that they have to play a perfect game because
Guess what,
now
Bro
they're in
Claude?
a situation. I never don't think.
I
No,
agree.
what I'm saying is
Hold
I
on.
don't.
You don't even know what I'm about to say, bro.
Wait. Just let me. I don't think that it's ever a situation where it's locked in. I don't think that.
This is what I'm trying to say, you, Bro Claude. If that
Okay.
is the case, and you feel that way, they can win without Cheryl Reeve.
Yes.
They are.
Well, I don't know about that.
Hold on. They got a lot of continuity as a team, right?
Yeah, but they haven't won without Cheryl Reeves. But they have won
She
without
always
Fee.
been there.
Right. They've won without Fee. multiple games.
So you don't think they can? So you don't think they can win without Cheryl?
That's another hiccup. That's your man. That's your man on the bench that's able to tell you direction at the best and the highest level. That's going. Not just a regular coach. This ain't Tyler Marsh that's missing. Now, if Tyler Marsh was their coach, Keysha, I believe because there ain't no coach, that can happen.
Look, the Lynx might win tomorrow just based off of, that whole
energy.
Went down. I agree. They did me wrong.
Energy, yeah.
I agree because they can beat the Phoenix Mercury without fee. They proved that. They can beat them.
I don't know if they proved that.
They've already beat them this year without fee. What are you talking about?
I think they had fee. Hold on, let me see.
While we take it a second. I agree with you, Dre Stewart.
Get the money.
It say they can't. Okay, here y'all go. It says they can't stop the game when the other team has the ball. That's the rule for junior high to the pros. Once Minnesota gains possession, then you stop it.
Yeah, that's been pretty standard. That's what I was saying.
That's standard.
They have never really stopped the game if the game is still in motion. I've seen a lot of people just at the other end of the court laying on the ground and the game is still going on.
No, it's supposed to be continuance. It's a continuance of the play. So what I'm saying is this, Keysha, and Brother K-Sap and Sister Tony and L. Regardless of anything, this is the playoffs. Is the odds in favor for the Phoenix Mercury to put them away the next game? Yes, hell yes. But the question and the answer is, which I seen in the chat, can the Lynx beat them? The answer is yes. It's not all is gone, as everybody's saying. It's not that this team is not the other teams that's in the league. This team is a well-oiled machine. But without Cheryl Reeves, I don't think that they can really pull it off without they coach. Without their coach. I don't think so. But maybe we'll see. Anybody could be beat, but I believe that Cheryl Reeves is another stint. Your star is gone, who averaged 23.4 points, and then your coach is gone that gives you direction on a supreme level. So it's a whole nother shot to the face. So if they do win, shout out to the Lynx.
But Claude, Cheryl Reeves was there the last 2 games they lost.
It doesn't matter, Keysha. It's still it's a reason of camaraderie. You know that. You just said it about if you off the field and the other 15 babies or 14, whatever, how many of them, the 11 other babies?
You said it was a well-oiled machine. I'm just asking.
I'm not doing the devil's advocate with you. You ain't gonna get me. You got it. I ain't gonna do the devil's advocate with you. I'm clear in what I said. Cheryl is an extra hit for the players not to have.
Of course, yeah.
So it is what it is, and I know that Phoenix is right now clicking at the
right time.
The right time.
Right time. At the right
so
time.
they click at the right time, and it's just the momentum is in their favor. But can they be beat? K-Sap, I feel they can be, and that's it.
Anybody?
The motor running.
All right, then, my man.
I'm not saying it's all lost for Minnesota. I mean, y'all act like just because Lafisha Kaya went down, and now you got Cheryl Reeves being suspended. Well, Cheryl Reeves can't get on that court and shoot no jumper. She can't shoot no free throws. She can't grab no rebounds. These players got to figure it out now.
Team still got to
play. You know what I'm saying? You got to step up. I mean, Fee went out early in the season and Minnesota held it down. So, all is not lost. I mean, this is a whole different conversation, man. I still think that, Minnesota got a chance, but I'll take it back to AT, and I'll take it back to the comment. I think Dre Stewart made the comment, like, once AT gained possession of that ball, they can't stop the play. They got to wait till that. They got to let that play run, and then when Minnesota gets possession back, then that's when they can stop the play. But they can't stop it, the play in the middle of transition because the player went down.
Mhm.
Right.
I just think in this situation without the Keysha Collier, like you said, Bro Claude, they still got a chance. I mean, these girls been in this situation before.
Mhm.
This Minnesota team, they just 1 year removed from the WNBA finals.
Yeah.
They know what it takes, but you got to have the rest of the players step up, knowing that their leader's down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in this situation, going back to the Phoenix to play them, Minnesota, they can rally around a lot of things, man. Because if you look at it, they're not going to expect Minnesota to win.
No.
So right now, Minnesota going to go to Phoenix playing with house money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not
Agree.
all lost. I mean, you can't just throw the towel in just because Keysha Collier went out and goddamn Cheryl Reeve's been suspended. You still got to play the game.
Mhm.
Because if that was the case, we up
I
here
agree
talking
with
about
Chuckle
it.
Chatter. Chuckle
If
Chatter
we
made a
talking
great
about
point.
it, you might as well not play the game. Just give the game to Phoenix. Just a game that has to be played. So hey, it is what it is.
Let's get the money. Get the money. Hold on a second. Thank you, Sister for Daniels. Read it, Keysha.
Dre, go back and watch the game. AT scored, and they were getting ready to inbound the ball, the Lynx, and that's when Cheryl came out. Mm.
Oh, she talking about on the call, I guess.
Doing the play action, yeah.
Because Cheryl Reeves knew the rule. She couldn't just storm on the court when AT had the ball and going down court to score. She couldn't do that. So she waited at the appropriate time to run on the court.
To crash out like she's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this. Let's say your kid is in school and there's a teacher or a group of teachers that your kid consistently has an issue with, right? You go to the principal. You don't get no support there. You go to the school board. You don't get no support there. Then you go to, or maybe you go to the superintendent. You go to the levels, right? You make your concerns known repeatedly. So now you go to the school board meeting and you just unload the clip because your requests have been ignored. Your cries for help, your cries for change and intervention and course correction have gone unaddressed. So then you go to the school board meeting in front of all the parents and city officials and school board members, all of that, and you unload the clip. Should your child be suspended from school? Should you as a parent be kicked out and barred from attending future meetings because as a parent you are tired of your child or your children being mistreated by these teachers who have shown that they are not even that they're not capable of doing their jobs, but maybe there are some hidden biases or there are some issues, some underlying issues that are preventing them from doing their job well. I see this as the same thing. We have
Yeah.
all, if anybody says that they don't agree, I'm looking at y'all crazy right now, and here's why. Because we have sat up for hours on this YouTube platform, on different shows and channels, and talked about how egregious the officiating has been all season long, all last season. Even in Unrivaled, there was some questionable refereeing going on. And we have all advocated for better officiating. We have all talked about seeing better officiating at the high school level and at the collegiate level and at the AAU level. So what this woman said is not wrong. She is being penalized. I need y'all to get this. She is being penalized because she called out Kathy. That's it. That's all. Kathy wouldn't have cared if she didn't say that leadership at the top needed to be changed. That's the issue here. And I think we keep circumventing that. You could, whatever side of the coin you're on with the conversation about if she said what she said was wrong, or if it was right, or if it was justified. I don't think we see her suspended if she don't come for Kathy.
But yeah, I think what at least where I'm coming from is this. If I called out my CEO publicly, I need to be waiting for the consequences because I work for them.
Be that as it may, but she wasn't wrong.
I'm
No,
gonna
that's
I'm
wrong,
just
but
And I could be not
Maybe she's
wrong.
willing to die on that hill. Maybe she's willing to take that
yeah.
L because sometimes you got to do things that are so disruptive that it might cost you, but you realize that it's bigger than you and the change has to start somewhere. And maybe that's what we're seeing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So abruptly, L, because I get misused and mistreated by Keysha so much because I'm a male and I get treated so bad, and then Tony get, you know what I mean, she get in it too sometime. K-Sap ain't there handling the business, but he know abruptly that
stop
these
whining and get to the point.
my point. Exactly. In case I let all this stuff go, and then I'm like, my brother, could you please talk to Sister Keysha? He's like, man, I don't know this mama, I don't know. He giving me the I don't know Abraham. So then now I'm just saying, if I protest and not give the people what they want, Sister L, which is me, I am depriving the young ones that's out there on these YouTube streets because I'm getting abused by the sisters, you know what I'm saying, that's on this part of the mission of Simply Ball Dropping Podcast that KSAP has started and created and put us all to work. And I'm just in a hostile environment every day of my life fighting for just my independence. And nothing has been done. I land.
What was
Hey,
that
look,
about? Was that
hold on, real quick, man. Somebody in the chat, I don't know who this lucky, I guess, person is, said he was timed out or something like that. Come on, moderators, man. Stop timing people out, man. Stop blocking people. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen nothing he has said, anything disrespectful or anything like that. I mean, yeah, he called me a clown, but that's not disrespectful. But who's timing these people out? I saw they made a reference to T. Carmella that they was timed out. Come on, moderators, man. Look, we all grown, man. I mean, like I said, if you're gonna time somebody out, it's because they use some racial stuff or anything like that. But just talking, man, just let them talk.
But don't be disrespectful, not on somebody's platform. That's the only thing. So I agree with William. Like, you can have a difference of opinion, but don't call nobody out their name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I you know, for the person that said they got timed out, I don't know.
We don't time
yeah.
out nobody. We got too much other stuff, and I'm in the midst of this. See how Boss Man just focused on that, and he didn't say, "Bro, Claude, I got your damn back." He didn't say that. He said, "I don't care about that. Shut your $5 ass up, and we going to the next
Bro,
subject."
Claude.
So I gotta take it.
I can't with Bro Claude. I can't with Bro Claude. I just can't.
Listen, you know what I can't with, Keysha, is the people in the chat talking about the only reason why Cheryl is mad is because they were losing. Maybe some of y'all haven't played sports, but I don't know any athlete or coach that likes losing. I don't know any athlete or coach that ain't gonna be mad because they losing. That's a part of sports.
Mm-hmm.
If you smiling and hunky dory, like, yeah, and you losing, whether it's by 4 points or 40 points, you need to be mad. And if you're not, I'm looking at you crazy.
You know, I got a little bias. I ain't gonna lie to you, El. I got a little bias. When we was over there losing 10 and 34 and getting the dog shit knocked out of us on the court, nobody cared. I ain't see no Cheryl. I ain't see no Sandy Bondello. I ain't see no Nate Tibbetts.
We was
nobody
getting
I'm going down across.
Me and Keysha had
officiating
all
this
them
match.
games.
Maybe that's the reason why I don't have no sympathy.
Yeah.
Because nobody gave a damn about my girl. So now I'm sitting
Didn't
here
nobody
like,
care about us. We was
you know the officiating is bad as hell. Camilla been getting her ass whooped
She been getting
all,
whooped. I mean, they literally hanging on both arms. I mean,
and nobody said nothing.
nobody
And
said nothing. Ain't nobody say how aggressive it was. I'm just saying I'm with the player because the player is correct. We call all 44 games of abusive time out of our days to make sure that we was here on time for all of the people, even though they was losing.
right.
Even though they was losing, we was here. So I just want the credibility to say that when the times get hard, we don't go away. We stayed with it, but nobody cried for Angel. And she said she was tired of this shit.
She said that early in the season. She said it early in the season.
She said, I'm tired. Her
And
back
that was for the
got hurt.
refs.
Camilla
And
could
she also said, bro, Claude, she also said in that same salute, I don't care if I get fined. I already know there might be some consequences.
So you know it's gonna happen, right?
I
So
need to tell you, I'm tired of this shit.
it's gonna happen. You call
Now,
them out,
Cheryl,
you know
at
it's
some
gonna
point, you're gonna get tired. We have seen it. It's easy to be a fan or a spectator and say what you think should and shouldn't happen. But at the end of the day, they are in the trenches, day in, day out, night in, night out, week after week. And we're in the postseason, in the playoffs, y'all. Folks is tired. They ain't even getting paid for this.
Okay. This is my last thing, L. This is my last thing, and
nobody cared. 44
I'm gonna shut up.
Let me stop.
I'm gonna just shut up after this, L, and then we can go to the next subject. Hey, K-Sap, I'm tired of this shit, and you better fix what the hell's going on. Or abruptly we gonna be dismissed it. Okay. Abruptly. Maybe. I don't think so. But I'm just saying, really, I'm tired of the abuse, okay? I'm done. We can go to the next subject because me and L agree.
He don't know what he's talking about, L.
He thinks he's being abused and he think he got PTSD. So he working through some issues on his own. Ain't nobody did nothing to Bro Claude.
Bro Claude, stop, man. Stop. Y'all gotta stop.
I did nothing to Bro Claude. We give him all the love he wants, and he still wants more. What else can we do, Tony? Nothing else we can do.
Nothing else.
Me, you, and L love him, and we be here for him all the time. And he's still complaining.
All day.
Lies in the nation. Lies that we tell.
Well, that
okay, so the consensus is the majority of the panel agrees with Cheryl's suspension, right?
Yeah, she should have been suspended.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand.
Anybody besides me don't agree with that?
I don't think it should have happened. After the playoffs, just like Bro Claude said, assess it moving forward. But I do agree that she should have been suspended because at the end of the day, everyone else is getting suspended. You can't have an egg without a goose. So there it is. So yes, she should be suspended. Should it have been assessed for the next game? No. I think that we should take it into the next season, of course. But I agree on both of those, right? Yes, she should be suspended, and yes, it should not take place when you're in the playoffs. Assess it later on.
I agree with that. That's fair. And I look at it this way: like Cheryl Reeve set a precedence, right? That she's not tolerating this stuff no more, right?
Right.
But if she didn't get suspended, that gives all the other coaches the right to do the same shit that Cheryl Reeves did.
Just crash out.
It blows up, K-Sap.
It's just a trickle down effect. It blows up because there was no repercussions to Cheryl Reeves. Now all these other coaches think they can do the same thing. Now these coaches got to stop and think like, okay, Cheryl Reeves got suspended for saying this type of stuff. Now I got to kind of tone it down and filter it down when I make my remarks. So like Elle said, two things can be right at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So the league set their precedents and also Cheryl Reeve set her precedents. So now it's got to be, I can't do that because I know if I do that, I'm going to get reprimanded. And I'll go back to what Elle said about, the children at the school. The thing that I got to have, that I got to think about, if I go up to that school and show out, what's going to come across my mind? I go up there and act a dog ass. They calling the laws on me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I got to keep in mind to go up there. But like Elle said, like in the heat of the moment, sometimes words come out that you just can't control because you caught up in the heat of the moment. You know what I'm saying?
And
it's a
y'all
lot of
bear
things
with
that
me,
you're gonna
okay?
say.
Y'all bear with me. I was a hothead in my younger days. I got it from my mama and my daddy. True story. And sometimes my mama watches the show, so if she hears, she can tune in the chat. My mama went to jail behind me.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
that's our
and
consequences.
and I was this close to
All
go.
right.
So I think that it's different. And like you said, KSAP, two things can be true at the same time. I think that a precedent has been set, both from the league and from Kathy. I'm sorry, from Cheryl. But I think it's problematic. I'm gonna toe the line on this. I think it's problematic because what we have is, and by no means am I saying that anybody should have a full license to just um be outright disrespectful or rude, right? That's not what I'm suggesting. But what I am saying is I'm towing the line because I feel like it becomes problematic when you send the message to coaches that they cannot have a voice and express their true frustrations
No, I
about
agree with you on that
what they
about
are
the
saying.
voice with the coaches. I agree. I'm not trying to rebuke what you said. I agree with everything that you said about the voices, right? I agree with that. But this is what I'm saying. Like you said, the precedence has been set by Cheryl Reeves. She made a statement, right? So she had to be the fall guy and take the suspension. But that puts the league on notice that one of our mainstay coaches that's been around for a long time, she voiced her displeasure, right? So we have to look into this and probably take action because she came from a point where, like you said, she got caught up in the emotions, but at the same time, like sometimes they say, like when you drink, you tell the truth.
Yeah.
Her emotions was speaking the truth because, like I said, I have no problem with what she said. The only thing is the consequence behind it. The league had to suspend her, but like so Pretty Tony said, the suspension, and Bro Claus said this, they should have went into next season with it instead of the
You don't
playoffs.
do it in the playoffs. Yeah. And
Well,
hot heads, like what do they say? Cooler heads prevail.
Yes.
Cheryl didn't get that. Cheryl, that window of time, there wasn't the cool heads prevail level hadn't even happened yet, right? Like she didn't have time to sleep. We're talking about hothead response. The
She's still
cool
pissed
heads
off.
prevail don't come until later.
Yeah.
Maybe
She's still pissed off
for her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially with the news that Fee is out now, for sure. Like she's been ruled out for tomorrow. We don't know what the injury is. We don't know the severity of it. I'm sure the Cheryl knows. And if they don't know today, they'll know in the next 48 hours. That's a lot. So we're not just talking about incidental contact in a game and bad officiating, but now we're talking about my star player being taken out of the game due to injury, regardless of how the injury happened, on top of the bad officiating, potentially losing the series, and then going into the postseason where we don't even know what the league is going to look like. Is there going to be a strike? You know, there's a lot of variables in play right now with the CBA talks, and it doesn't, from what the WNBPA has been posting, it doesn't sound like they have any forward progression or movement happening. So we're potentially looking at a lockout. And you take all of those things, that's enough to send anybody over the edge. So people are expecting the cooler heads prevail version of Cheryl, when you know daggone well something sets you off, whatever that thing is that sets you off, you don't have a cool head until much later. So what we got from Cheryl is how many folks would respond according to their situation when they're in hothead mode. That's all I'm saying.
With all that being said,
but all I'm saying is there's a lot of people who could have been in hothead mode though.
And,
What I'm
and, and
saying
they and
is,
they and they would have been well within their right.
all I'm saying is, hey man, I done said this over and over again. I ain't gonna say it no more. You knew that shit going in, man. It ain't like this shit just happened. It ain't like we just realized that one ref is bad. Them refs been bad all season. And I don't mind y'all calling out the refs, but however, it's you gotta understand that the refs are in employment type of situation. If I'm at my job and KSAP works with me, right? He's my colleague. And I can't be going out there to the media saying KSAP don't know how to do his doggone job. We all work at this place together. And he's horrible. I can't go to a press conference and be like, hey, KSAP works for such and such company. I work there too. I'm a manager here, and KSAP is horrible. He don't know what he's doing. He's dumpster juice. He's trash. And the company is sitting over there going, oh, yeah, KSAP might be trash, but I gotta protect KSAP too because he worked for me too. That's all I'm saying.
And look, with all that being said, I got Minnesota tomorrow. Shit.
You got Minnesota?
Got Minnesota. They
You
gonna
got
put that
Minnesota?
ass.
It's not over.
It ain't over.
Oh, they
Yeah.
coming in hot tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: they coming in hot tomorrow.
And to King Stepper's comment, yes, they need to be held accountable through the leadership. Just like if I work for L, me and L work together, right? We in a company, we work together, and she effing up in her job. She messing up in her job. I can't hold L accountable for her job. I can't go to L and be like, because L cussed me out. I can't go to L and I'm a regular employee like L and tell L, you better do your job at L. Leadership got to hold L accountable. Now, I can do that, but L might cuss me out and go to jail like she was talking about with other people.
Hey,
Like,
L, you in jail the whole
first thing
time.
she gonna say is for you to tell me I ain't doing my thing.
See, the problem is L live on the edge, y'all. She live on the
do.
edge.
I
She
do.
really do.
Can't
And
y'all
see,
tell?
you gotta
I cut all my hair.
understand.
I live
I
on the
know
edge.
it's cute,
I-
girl.
You gotta understand all the conversations that L been having on all of our platforms since she's been around. L sometimes go against the grain. You know what I'm saying?
Just for
And
those who are new or haven't seen me around and don't know my story, I'm a former Crip. Okay.
yeah, she's that's why, you know, I've always used the saying, what's understood don't have to be explained.
Don't have to be.
So like when L's on the panel and you hear L talking the way she's talking and we have some pushback, it's all love.
I ain't
You know
worried
what I'm
about them
saying? It
people.
ain't nothing like,
we
oh,
love
I
her,
want to
man.
fight L. I
Listen.
can't stand L. I want to chop her
No.
off at the neck. See,
Listen,
people don't
blame my
understand
daddy.
that.
God rest his soul. My
I ain't
father
putting
is
up
resting
on.
in heaven, but my father was a Black Panther. I am truly his child.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm
But you,
saying. See,
but
like,
you see what I'm saying though, L. Right now, I can
yeah,
come to you and say, look, you better do your job or else, L. You gonna tell me to go f myself? I'm pretty sure. The
yeah,
only thing I can do is go to management and our direct boss and be like, look, L not doing her job. She making it real hard on me. And my boss gonna be like, let me handle it. My boss is not gonna tell me you go handle it.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
Keysha, with that, and those who agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
that is making the assumption that there haven't been private conversations up to this point. Like, you don't get someone who is as seasoned and professional and experienced as Cheryl Reeve, who just decides she gonna pop off the lid in a game,
No, I think she popped off
playoffs
the
or not.
lid because of the situation. I don't think she would have popped off the lid if the situation hadn't occurred. I think she would have still had the criticism, but we wouldn't have had the crash out.
I think the
She had
crash
the
out
crash
is a
out.
result of the buildup. The crash out is the result of the buildup because let's be honest, this isn't Fee's first injury
Yeah.
this season. She was just out not too long ago with an ankle injury.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
crash out is a buildup, in my opinion, and it's again. I'll go back to I hear what you're saying about we've seen this type of egregious or suspect officiating all season long, why do you come into the postseason expecting something different? And my argument is the same up until we are in the playoffs. I do expect to see something different because it is the playoffs. There's a lot at stake for the teams who have fought to get here. So even from a business perspective, we can't leave that stuff to chance because we got to put out the best product on the floor. Because if the fans are not watching and they're not paying attention, that affects our bottom line.
You
If
are
your favorite
correct.
player goes out, that affects our bottom line. So it's bigger than just the game itself. Let's look from the business perspective. You are supposed to ensure when they do the New Year's Eve ball drop in New York City and Manhattan, there's a lot of different things that they have to do to make sure that that goes off without a hitch. You don't do the normal
It's
Macy's Day
tested for
parade
90
that they do.
days, right? It's
But
tested
L,
for 90 days,
when has this
right?
league done the things you yourself think should be done?
But that they haven't. And again, that's why I feel like Cheryl's she need to change her name because I'm gonna call her Kathy one more time. But that's why I feel like to an extent Cheryl's crash out was valid. It's because we keep asking for things. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all are not giving us what we're asking for, but we're still expected to put the best product out on the floor night in, night out. We're still expected to show up. We're still expected to play, even in the way that the series was created, like playing two, what is it, 2-1, 2 on, 1 off, or whatever the schedule is this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Two,
then they're
one.
playing, and I need people to know, I'm gonna say this again, they're not getting paid during the series, y'all. So you take all of that, we're doing everything that you're requiring us to do, but we're not supposed to have a voice in what it is that we need from you. That's problematic to me. That's a dictatorship. And regardless of what side of the spectrum you fall on politically, and this is not a political show, but to me, it's giving, let's mirror what's happening in the country as a whole. And I don't like it.
Honey,
Mm, mm, mm.
honey,
Y'all,
honey,
yeah,
honey.
man.
Baby, I look, free to W. You know, I got my I got my
Man,
fist up. But
that's it. That's
but
all.
until they
Whew.
make a leadership case up, until they make some same thing we say about the Chicago Sky, until you make some decisions at the top of this thing. I mean, I don't know if the commissioner care about the ref situation.
I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. Whoever this Mela person is, see, I got time today because it's been a while
Nah,
since
hey,
I've been
that
up.
day, hey, look, L,
Yeah, I
just
don't know.
fall
I ain't
back,
even
just
paying
fall back.
attention to it.
I like, I've been looking at this chat, man, and it's diabolical tonight. So
Leave it alone,
just
leave it alone, leave
just
it
leave it
alone.
alone, L, leave it alone. Just
Leave
keep
it alone.
smiling. Just leave it
Some of y'all
alone.
should
I
be
mean,
glad that my brothers have some
Kathy
influence on
Eagleburg
how
is
I respond.
until
It's
until
okay, it's okay.
look
It's okay. I had my moment with Mela. Yeah, it's over.
Hey, just leave it alone. Just
until
keep
you
going.
deal with the top. I mean,
Look,
I don't know. Like me and Broclaw said last night, I don't know what else you gonna be able to do because they run it. So Cheryl Reeve,
Mm.
you might have
I
to,
think Cheryl has
you have
set a
to start
precedent,
setting.
and really the W is beholden to the team or the players and the coaches, in my opinion. Because if you don't have them, then you don't have a league. Not a league with a good product that you can put on the floor and is going to make you a profit.
I
And I
think
feel
they
like
all
that's
got
the
to come in
direction that we heading.
solidarity. I think it's gonna take
Yeah.
more than Cheryl Reeve. I think they all have to come in solidarity and to make change to make stuff move. I don't know.
I can see it happening though when you look at the
Hmm.
comments that were made after Sandy Brondello was let go. Becky and Cheryl both like, listen, and we don't normally see that. If a coach is let go, nobody spoke up for Teaspoon. That was an active coach in the W. You
Right.
had former players speaking up, right?
Hmm.
But for Sandy Brondello, they spoke up. So maybe the tide is changing. What I do know is this: these women are getting tired. And while I believe that many of them in the league absolutely have an innate passion for this game and they love what they do and they realize how blessed and fortunate they are to be able to do it for a living, their window is limited. You don't have a LeBron James in the WNBA. And what I mean by that is you don't have somebody that can go well into their 40s and still be at peak performance and be able to play, have a long window in this league. And we've talked about that before for a number of reasons because of just the makeup of women's bodies as a whole. So they got a real short window to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. And hopefully their goal is to leave the league better than the way that they found it. And that doesn't happen by going along to get along. Sometimes you got to disrupt. Sometimes you got to speak it, go against the grain and speak out. And that's where you'll see real change. But I can say as a former coach, a former player, a former corporate executive, a marketer, a brander, a media professional, I don't like what I see from this organization, like from the W as a whole. As a fan, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad, but I watch it because I love the game. I have found my favorite players and some teams or players within certain organizations, and I enjoy the game of basketball. But there's a lot that's left to be desired with this game and with this league. And I'm just, again, y'all ain't never heard me sit up here and talk favorable about Cheryl or the Minnesota Lynx, right? Like that's not my team. But I can call a thing when I see it, and I just think she did the right thing.
Well, y'all heard that, man. Elle standing on hers, and I'm glad she's standing on hers, man. We can't persuade Elle to make a change. She's standing on what she said.
I'm not wanting her to make a change.
Yeah, she's standing on what she said.
I'm just telling you, look, you call out your peoples.
Yeah, so
Hey,
I
that's
mean,
how
it
she
is what
Hey,
it is.
let me tell you,
Don't change for nobody else.
Look, even at my job, KSAP know we sign all kind of papers that say we ain't gonna do that.
And then you got training every year to remind you that you can't do that.
Look, make sure you do your social media be tight.
Yeah.
You get fired for that.
Yeah, so hey, it is what it is, man. But hey, I ain't got nothing else to say, man. Y'all pretty
Yeah, you
much
do.
summed it up. Nah, I ain't got nothing else to say.
You know what I need you to address?
What's that?
Bro Claude up here on this panel talking about me and Tony and Elle been abusing him, and you just gloss over it.
Yeah,
He didn't say me.
Hey.
He didn't say I've been abusing him.
Who did you say specifically, Bro Claude?
I think he slipped your name in.
First of all,
end.
see how
I thought he slipped you in, Elle.
messy.
He did at the end,
Keysha.
Elle. He slipped your name in there, Elle.
I never said Elle.
Yes, you did, you snitch.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to
tell you.
Yeah, hey, look, Bro Claude, I'm sorry you feel that way, man, but I'm just gonna throw my hands up.
We about to get up out of here, y'all.
Oh man.
You diabolical up in this chat. And then y'all know I don't want no smoke from Elle. And y'all trying to get.
You did. You put your name in the end.
Y'all stop trying to make it seem like I'm the big bad wolf. I already be taking heat from some people in the chat.
See, that's what I'm trying to
Hey, stop. Y'all stop.
we about to go. So it's safe to say, guys, look, we about to get up out of here. It's safe to say tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting with the 2 games going on. Bro Claude, please stop. Please, Jesus, stop, Lord. Thank y'all for rocking with us tonight. It was great conversation. Look, it's good that we can have conversation. We can agree, disagree, go around the bend, let the chat go crazy. As long as y'all be respectful to each other, it's all great conversation, and I love it. I love it. I love it. The more we talk, the more we understand each other. So there's that.
That's the quote of the day. The more we talk, the more y'all start understanding each other.
Hey, make sure y'all come and bring that over to the Players Club, and then the crash out room. Y'all can crash out.
Y'all don't
All right,
need that in the y'all don't
predictions for
need that in the
tomorrow before
Players
we
Club,
go.
man.
Oh yeah,
Predictions for
predictions for
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Who you got, K-Sap?
Minnesota,
And who?
Aces,
Okay.
Minnesota and Aces.
Tony.
You know, I just love a good basketball game. I'm not gonna sway one way or the other for either game.
Okay. Bro Claude.
I got the Aces and Minnesota 10 toes down. Courtney Williams gonna be on her one, and Mick Bucket.
We didn't ask you all that. We just asked who you had.
We just asked, why he got to do 10 minutes? L.
I'm sorry. Y'all got to remind me not to read the chat when we be up.
See,
Yeah,
Yeah, don't read that
Stop.
chat.
Stop.
That chat'll have you all over the place. Don't read
Let
that.
me know
Wow.
who you got, chat.
I ain't been around in a while, so
Hey,
you know I feel like
Typical.
it's a good time to unload the clip. I'm in my Cheryl
I
era.
mean, I'm it's crazy. I'm looking in the chat, motherfuckers coming in here talking about who's this guy, where he come from. Like, I'm like
his platform
the
is where it all
boss.
started.
That's
I'm-
the boss.
nah,
Clearly, you knew.
Hey, just leave it alone, man. Go ahead, finish. Go
Who
ahead.
you
With
got?
your
Who you got,
Yeah,
L?
that's the boss.
I have Aces. Are they playing in Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to Cancun.
The Aces.
Nah,
No.
Fever, they're going to Cancun.
This their last game tomorrow.
So here's my thing.
Asia dropping
say-
35 tomorrow.
I say Aces.
She better.
But because they're in Indiana, I don't have full faith.
I told you, L plays. She plays on the fence, y'all. I see how
I
she
don't have
playing on
full
the
faith.
fence, man.
I don't have
Playing
full
on the
faith
fence, man.
because they playing in Indiana.
The GOAT.
Now with Phoenix and Minnesota wins if McBuckets, Courtney, and Heidelman handle their business. And the reason why I say that is Minnesota is still favorable even without Nafisa, but and the reason why I say that is because the Mercury isn't consistent enough. They haven't shown me that they're consistent enough.
So who
I
you
know
got?
Tony said that the Mercury could have won the first game. They should have won the first game, but I just feel like they coming. Them girls is coming tomorrow. Them young ladies is coming tomorrow with a chip on their
They
shoulder.
coming.
So who you got,
They
L?
definitely coming with a chip on their shoulder for sure.
I said
I
Minnesota.
want to see Lynx.
So you got Minnesota and who you got between the Aces and the Fever? You playing
The Aces if the officiating is fair.
Nah, you're not going to see. I don't like how you threw that in there. I didn't like
I don't think
It
the
wasn't their
officiating
last
gonna matter.
game and they pulled
It
it
ain't
off.
gonna be. Hey, it
Don't
don't
matter.
even matter.
Look,
be-
y'all
it's
didn't see the Getty. Y'all know who Getty is, right? Getty Images.
Yes.
I love that they was at the game because you won't see it on the W website or on their social media platforms.
Y'all
But
see
the
what L
Getty
does,
posted-
y'all? You see how L? You see what L's doing, y'all?
All
Getty
the time.
posted two pictures. It's two pictures. One is Kelsey Mitchell and Jackie Young. And Jackie, you ever seen a movie like in slow motion where somebody's face is getting mushed and you see it all smushed up? That's what Jackie face looked like because Kelsey got her hand all in her face, like mugging her in her face. They didn't call the foul. And the other image is of AB and Asia battling for the rebound. And AB literally she got it in a chicken wing. She got Asia's whole arm just gripped up in her forearm,
Straight up.
preventing her from moving. And
Straight
they didn't call it. So that's why
You
I
ain't do it. You
said
gonna click it off.
the officiating has to be
Kiss
fair
I'm coming,
on
y'all.
both sides of the court. If
Mwah.
it's
All right, we
not,
got you.
then I want the Aces to win. I need the Aces to win. As a
Come get
matter
them
of
right
fact,
quick.
but I don't know.
Hi, girl.
Yeah.
Typical.
All right, so we got all the predictions in, man. Keysha, I'm gonna let you go and bring it on home, man.
All right, we getting up out of here, y'all. William Goins, thank you for the $2 super chat. Some things need to be addressed. All right, we need all kind of group hugs. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but y'all love each other. Please do love each other.
Yeah, y'all love on
We
each
all
other, man.
just get along.
My prediction is the Aces and probably the Lynx, but I can see the Mercury trying to close it out tomorrow.
Nah, T.
But
Carmelo.
but
Keysha didn't pay the bill. All right, it's too late for that. Come on.
but the inconsistency of Kai and Satu sometimes can take you out of a game. So I'm gonna say the Lynx and the Aces. Let's get up out of here. Thank y'all.
Hey,
for
we gonna pay
all.
bills. We gotta wait, Keysha.
What
Wait.
bills we gotta pay?
Underdog Fantasies is the best.
Did he just click it off?
Hey, L. I just see what I'm saying. Look, these people are not.
What is he doing?
All right, just go ahead.
What is happening?
Hold on, go ahead, wrap it up.
Listen, this is not the level of production that I'm
Bro
used to.
Yeah.
Let's get it together.
Lead the thing. Lead
I
the
don't know
thing
what
along.
I don't know what Bro Claude doing over there.
I don't know. Here we go.
He got caught
Here
up
we
in
go.
the
Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play fantasy sports. Let me tell you about the simplest way to get in on some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, win you some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick-em entry, get every pick right, and win some serious cash. Use our promo code FCT and receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Now that it's football time, follow the 4-court trio as we share our picks. Like I said, pick your player, choose your amount, win money, make picks, win cash. Thanks, Underdog Fantasy, for the partnership with us, and thank you for using promo code FCT on Underdog Fantasy.
Hey, chat. These two, you can't even tell them to be quiet. Hey, chat. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We about to get up out of here. We out. Say bye, Bro Claude, and say it nice.
Love, peace, and hair grease. Hey,
All right.
we on Simply Ball Dropping Networks with my main man, K-Sap, the full court trio. Got that Israel Talk Sports. Hey, we on here with Sister L. We got to get Sister Tony. Hey, look, we got to get her, Sister Tony 500, y'all. Come on. We got to get L. Listen, go over to L page and hit subscribe, which are all these people that's in the chat. Go over there to my sister's page and hit the like and subscribe button. Love y'all. Appreciate it. We out.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.